Hello, today I want to make a video about something I discovered this weekend. Um, it's about Tinder fungus. So on the table here we have two different kind of Tinder fungus. I'm sorry for English that is not so good, but I think it's interesting to make this video in English so more people can look at it and use the knowledge I want to transmit in this video. So this is a Tinder fungus. I already make a video before. It's called the fomentarius and more usually called the false Tinder fungus. First, I didn't understand so much why it was called false Tinder fungus, and this one it's Inonotus obliquus or Chaga, or what it can be called the True Tinder Fungus. So this is a big part, this is a smaller part, and as we can see inside it, the material it's kind of spongy and it's clear yellow, and there's a crust that is black and dark brown. So this is not so useful. The useful part in this shrooms or fungus, it's the clear yellow part that you can go take inside, and it's mainly a lot of weight of that shroom or fungus that is good. So this one is called false Tinder fungus. This one is called true Tinder fungus because it's easier to get a spark, to catch the spark and make fire with this one than with this one. In fact, this one, if you don't char it, or at least be very dry and use only the amadou layer here, it's quite hard to start it with a spark. And this one, even out fresh from the tree, if you spend spark inside that, is supposed to be catch like this. I haven't tried, so I cannot say if it's the case, but what I try. So couple days, maybe 1 week and a half ago, I put a video about charring this Tinder fungus, converted to a kind of charcoal. I has used this device to make that, so a can with a small hole, okay, a penny stove that cover with this, and then you put the can, you put that in fire, and after that you put the wind shield, and you do that couple times until no more smoke is getting out, and when no smoke go out, you put the penny on that, the coin, to protect from oxygen enter inside the can. So I have done that with this, and the result was a kind of coal that can catch fire. I said quite nice. With the magnifying glass it's working fine. With the tiny spark it's working, but it's more harder. You need like couple times spark on it. You need to scratch it, so it's not so easy. But what I try, I figure out if people call this true Tinder fungus and this false. So this one should be easier to live. So what I think is, why not take this and char that? And I found something very interesting. I haven't seen yet any people make char from the chaga on the YouTube. So the main difference between this one and this one is, this one it's not the fruit of the fungus. This one it's composed of the mycelium, mostly of the fungus. This is the clear things that kind of sponge, and this is the fruit of the fungus. So composition is not the same. This is not mycelium, this is mycelium, and mycelium of fungus look like microscopic steel wool. So a lot of small wire of cells crossing each other and make a kind of material very porous, and this is why this is kind of spongy little bit. So when you char it, first you heat very strongly. What's happened, it's all the water dehydrate. So it became very dry first, and after that, the heat you still apply on it, it's converting all the molecule to carbon. So all the other elements like oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, it's like go out in form of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, kind of nitrogen, and a lot of different compounds. And what left, it's only carbon. But as this is the basic structure, what left, it's a kind of network of very tiny carbon fiber. And as is very tiny carbon fiber, there's a lot of oxygen between, there's a lot of air that can go. It's very porous, and as it's very small wire, it can easily catch a spark because it needs very small amount of heat to take it to the ignition temperature. So what I done, I took that and I char it in this can, but not over the penny stove, but in a fire, in the ember of a fire. And what result is that this is more structure resistant than the Char True Tinder Fungus. It's really look like a coal, like charcoal, and it's little bit more dirty to manipulate than the char of that. And if you use big chunk, you can have like some part that is not completely char, but this is not a big deal. This is going to work very fine to catch a spark, and I will show you. And I made plenty of that. And so now I will show you how easy it can catch a spark. Okay, it's time for the spark test. So I'm going to send some spark from a modified lighter, just in the Tinder Fungus, the True Tinder Fungus char I made. And as you see, a single spark. Single spark was enough to light it. So this gives a very good ember that can be used to start a fire, and it's very easy to produce with only one spark. It's catch it and it starts in fire. Very efficient. Thank you. Okay, I forget one detail about the charring of the True Tinder Fungus. It's you absolutely need to put the coin just after the smoke stop and wait until the can is mostly at room temperature. If it's still a little bit warm, okay, even if you think it's not so important, like in my case I made the mistake once and the can was still warm, I can touch it, but it's still warm, and so I took out the coin, I open it and I look inside, and what I see, it's almost instantly when the air flow arrive inside the can, like all the char fungus start to glow red. So the fire has already started. So what I done, I put back the lid, put the coin, and I wait 40 minutes, and then I open it back again, and it was okay. So really what is important is to put that coin to prevent oxygen from entering the can during the cooling process, and wait until it's really at room temperature before opening it, because it can catch on fire by itself if it's warm.